It started off like any other day, ordinary, predictable, the kind of day that drifts by without much fanfare. Just another page in the calendar, really. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary as I strolled into the office that morning, same as I had countless times before. And yet, beneath that calm surface, there was an odd feeling in the air, like that eerie stillness right before the sky splits open. For months, I'd been floating along, wrapped in a cozy blanket of denial, completely unaware of the quiet storm Emma had been brewing behind the scenes. Emma, my brilliant, graceful, endlessly compassionate wife, or at least that's who I believe she was. We'd been married 5 years, and not once did I doubt her devotion. Together, we'd built what looked like a solid life, picture perfect from the outside. Our cozy home, our circle of friends, the dreams we chased hand in hand, it all felt so real. But the truth has this nasty habit of slipping through the cracks when you least expect it. It didn't come crashing in all at once. No, it crept in slowly, wearing the disguise of tiny, forgettable changes. At first, Emma just seemed a bit busier, staying out longer, mentioning work stuff or casual get-togethers with her girlfriends. Harmless enough, right? Still, something about her felt off, like her mind was somewhere else entirely. And honestly, I was so buried in my own workload that I didn't stop to look closer. Not at first. Then one night I got home earlier than usual. I'd planned a little surprise. Made dinner, set the table, the whole bit. Her car was already parked outside, and the house looked unusually quiet. The lights dimmed low. No cheerful, "Hey, you're home." None of the warmth she used to greet me with. I walked in and found her sitting in the living room, clutching her phone. She spotted me and quickly tucked it away like she was hiding a loaded gun. Too quick, that reaction. It hit me like a gut punch. The first real crack in the image I'd so desperately wanted to believe. I told myself it was nothing, just a fleeting moment of awkwardness. But let's face it, deep down, I knew better. Over the following weeks, the pieces stopped fitting. Empty wine glasses on nights she swore she'd been out with friends. Odd times she'd duck out without much explanation. Vague little messages popping up on her screen. She'd become shy, almost withdrawn. And whenever I asked her about her day, her answers came out too polished, like lines from a script she'd practiced in the mirror. I'd reached my limit. I couldn't keep pretending anymore. Something inside me snapped. I knew I had to face her, but it had to be on my terms. So I did what any man driven by a mix of confusion and desperation might do. I brought in a private investigator. I needed answers, real ones. And what came back blindsided me. Turns out Emma wasn't just out late with girlfriends or drowning in deadlines. She'd been sneaking around with someone else for months. His name was Josh, a smug, well-dressed coworker she met during a business trip. The kind of guy who probably thought sleeping with another man's wife was some twisted badge of honor. The investigator laid it all out. Photos, screenshots, phone records, the whole ugly truth. They weren't just having a fling. No, they were plotting a future together. They had a plan, a timeline, a fantasy life that didn't include me. When I saw the evidence, it was like the air got sucked out of the room. Everything I thought I knew cracked wide open. I felt betrayed in a way I didn't even have words for. Angry, raw, exposed. The woman I built my life around had been lying to my face day after day. At first, the pain twisted itself into fury. I wanted to make her hurt, to show her what it felt like to be discarded like yesterday's news. But after the storm of emotions passed, something else settled in. I didn't want to lash out blindly. I wanted her to feel it, deeply and unexpectedly, not through yelling or accusations, but with a quiet, deliberate cut, one she wouldn't see coming. So I played the part. I didn't confront her right away. I smiled when I had to, kissed her goodnight like everything was normal, kept up the act. Inside, though, I was drawing up my own plan, step by calculated step. The first move? I mirrored her. I became more elusive, started stepping out without explanation, guarding my phone like it held government secrets. But instead of chasing someone else, I turned inward. I hit the gym harder. I buried myself in work and started going out more, rekindling friendships I'd let fade, rediscovering parts of myself I'd neglected. I made damn sure she noticed how well I was doing without her. Gradually, I pulled away. No drama, no fights, just silence. Emotional distance, colder than anything she'd ever felt from me. All the while, I kept one eye on her little romance. I learned everything I could about Josh. Arrogant doesn't begin to cover it. He strutted around like he already had one foot in my house. What he didn't know was that I was already 10 steps ahead, watching, waiting, picking the moment. And when it came, I made it count. I invited Emma out to dinner. Nothing flashy, just a quiet spot we used to love. She came all smiles and charm, probably thinking she still had the upper hand. I saw it in her eyes, that smug confidence of someone who believes they've got it all figured out. She had no clue she was walking into a carefully staged scene. I kept things light, polite, asked how work was going, how Josh was holding up. That name? I dropped it like a stone in a still pond, just to watch the ripple in her expression. She froze for half a second. Just enough. She hadn't expected calm. She'd braced for a blow-up, maybe even rehearsed a few excuses. But what she got was something entirely different. Then I dropped the bombshell. I know about Josh, I said, quiet, unwavering. I know everything. The affair, the plans, the lies. You thought you were 2 steps ahead, but I've been 3 steps ahead this whole time. Emma froze. Her face drained of color as the words sank in. For a moment, she just sat there staring at me, speechless. The fear, the guilt. They rolled across her face like a wave she couldn't hold back. She didn't even try to deny it, but I wasn't finished. You think you can just walk away from this life? From everything we built together? Number, you're not the only one who can make plans. What she didn't know, what she never saw coming, was that I had already moved the pieces into place. Quietly, carefully. My lawyer had drawn up everything. Divorce papers, asset protections, contingency clauses. I'd sealed every exit she thought she could slip through. She wouldn't be walking away with a dime. Not from the house, not from the accounts, not from me. But it wasn't just about the money. Josh had to feel it too. I made sure he knew I wasn't some clueless husband. I let him see just how much I knew, just enough to make him sweat. And then I delivered the final blow. I sent everything, the pictures, the texts, the timelines, to HR. Their little secret. Not so secret anymore. The company had a strict policy on workplace relationships, especially the kind that involved deceit and misuse of company resources. They thought they were discreet. They thought no one would ever find out. They were both fired within the week. I didn't gloat. I didn't have to. I just watched, calmly, as their carefully crafted fantasy life crumbled. The world they'd been building behind my back fell apart in slow motion, and there was nothing either of them could do to stop it. The divorce went through without a hitch. Fast, clean, brutal. Emma walked away with nothing but the wreckage of the life she tried to abandon. She called me more than once, left messages, sent long, rambling emails, apologies, regrets, desperate attempts to hit rewind. But I was done. The man she had lied to, betrayed, manipulated, he didn't exist anymore. I wasn't him. I was someone new, someone stronger. And Josh? He vanished into obscurity. His reputation was shot. Word got around, as it always does. No one wanted to work with the guy who got fired over an affair and blew up a marriage. He learned the hard way that some messes can't be swept under the rug. In the end, I didn't need to raise my voice, throw punches, or burn bridges. I didn't need chaos. I had patience, precision, and the truth. That was enough. My revenge wasn't loud. It was calculated, clean. They thought they'd won. They thought they were clever. But when the dust settled, they were the ones left behind, scrambling through the ruins, while I walked away without ever looking back. Cheating Secrets podcast like me.